Leo.
Hello, Leo. This is your December forecast for 2016. And listen, the Sun and Mercury this month is going to be traveling through your fifth house of joy, happiness, self-expression, just fun, and a lot of playfulness. Now we have the Sun and Mercury here in this area of your fifth house, and alongside with Saturn too. Saturn has been working on giving you roots, grounding that of what it is you're working for, whether it's projects, it could be hobby projects, or your own business for all that matters. But see, having the Sun here right now is bringing your personality to come forward to the forefront, where I see you radiant and shining, and they're moving through your sister sign of Sagittarius, so it really works well with you. It harmonizes all your energies. And then Mercury this month will retrograde here from the 19th to that of January 8th. So it's going to give you a prolonged extra time to work through what it is you're wanting or needing to work through in this area. The fifth house also has to do with love and romance. So some of you might see how you're going to be tweaking it, right? If you're an artist, well, then you might be going back over some older projects that may come back into the picture, where you want to go in and give it those final touches now that you're so good about doing. But we do want to get our holiday shopping done before the 19th, just so that we don't get funky gifts, right? Especially those things that have moving parts and electronics and so forth, because Mercury rules all of those things, and sometimes we might not be too happy with what we're getting. So do your shopping earlier the better, because as we get close to that 19th, Mercury's already slowing down, right? So if you can do it end of November or coming into that first week of December, should be really good. Now we have Venus this month having cruised through Capricorn, which it did in November for the most part, but you'll still have another week or so for it here in this area to conclude the routines that you've been working on. I can see how you've been starting to shore up those things, organizing things, making you feel that much lighter, and making your daily life that much easier for you as well. But it also has focus on your health. How are you eating? What are you eating? Are you getting enough workout? That kind of thing. Venus loves to kind of tweak this on its annual tour. It's going to be a full year before she comes back here, so you might just want to use the power of her love for you, which is you loving yourself, right? It was just infused as it passed over Pluto here at the end of November. So right now she's up and running. She's powerful as the month starts off. And we also have the new moon in this area for you, Leo, which will for you be on the 28th, and it is in the sign of Capricorn, so you want to circle that on your calendar to place your intentions, and which intentions would benefit you the most here this month. It would be exactly those things that we just outlined for you. Your daily routine, your health, are you getting enough workout? How does your schedules look? Are they over crammed? How can you prune back so that when you start off the new year, you are ready to fly with much more opening now to those things that are needed to be done? So we can see how that works for you. But Mars here in November, which we spoke about last month, in your seventh house for relationships, or anybody that you work with closely, one-on-one, that kind of partnerships. Mars in Aquarius is really thinking outside of the box, and you might have found yourself interacting or exchanging in new explorative ways, perhaps too. It loves to just rethink the wheel, right? And I see how you're going to be doing that this month as well. You can come to expect a whole lot more interaction from your partner coming towards you as well, maybe with those very same attributes. So yeah, we have that full moon. Let's talk about it before we start on our very long list here with just beautiful transits straight throughout the whole month. You have a lot to be excited for here, Leo. That full moon for you will be on the 13th, and it is in Gemini, your 11th house, for hopes and dreams. It's also your circle of friends, acquaintances, groups that you might be interacting with, your network, basically. So somehow, on some stage, I see the lamplight shining on you, and you being a Leo, I know you're just absolutely going to love it. So maybe there's a party going on there on the 13th. At least you will be central to it. But as we start off the month here, we look at December 1st. Mars and Jupiter, beautiful alignment. It's a trine, the best angle that we can have between any two planets. Mars being your drive, Jupiter being the expansion of where you're heading. So anything that you've been working for over these last recent months, you can come to see that there might be news now, as if I could see a door opening for you where you can step in and take some action and receive a lot of that hard work as far as grounding it. And this is what Mars, again, is wanting to root with Saturn here on the 3rd. Saturn is always wanting to anchor in karmically. Think about it as your karmic bank, right? Whenever Saturn is in a great aspect, you're receiving from that karmic bank. When it's negatively aspect, well, then we have to pay up for those karmic imbalances. But Mars here, very prominent the whole first week of December. On the 6th, Mars will be sextiling Uranus. Uranus is what we love. It's the planet of change and surprises, the big oh my God factor. And this is you right now receiving or giving somebody else that surprise. For you, Mars being in the 7th house, we're talking about your partner or partnerships. And for those of you who are single, get these questions from time to time. What about us who are single? Well, listen, you always have a primary relationship going on at any given time. And that is the relationship you have with yourself. You know those inner conversations we have all day long with ourselves? How is that partnership working for you? Are we speaking ourselves up, or are we speaking ourselves down? You know, so that is where you want to look at how you can boost that inner confidence by just being your own very best friend, right? So think about that when we speak about relationships in general. On the 9th, we have the Sun and Jupiter. Jupiter is in your 3rd house and has been, Leo, for some time now, and it will till late summer. Jupiter wants to be on the move. It wants to spread its wings. It wants to expand. And so I can see socially, too, that this is a time for you where on the 9th you would like to express more of that joy, that creativity. Your artistic talents may just come to the forefront here on this day. And that is because the Sun is in your 5th house. So whatever it is you're doing, I can see how you are putting your beautiful personal touch on it. If you're out and about shopping, you might just find some great deals too. So early shopping, think about that Mercury going retrograde soon, right? And then on the 10th, we have two aspects. It's Mercury, which has to do with communication, and it's communicating with Neptune. The two of them are in cohorts to actually open up this vision for you where you're looking ahead and probably into 2017 and where you're wanting to navigate. It is a very intuitive type inner communication. Neptune isn't very verbal in that sense. It's more visual, but you know how they say a picture can say more than 1,000 words, right? So listen within and see where that vision is taking you, because on the very same day, the Sun and Saturn are conjunct. In that 5th house for creativity or the businesses that you own, it's also romance and it's also children. Anywhere alongside with those, the Sun and Saturn is going to want to anchor something that can have longevity for you, that can last for the whole oncoming year until the Sun and Saturn conjuncts again. Then we have on the 11th, unexpected news and change. It is excitement. Uranus always brings excitement. And for you, it's where you're seeking within your higher self. It's higher education, it's spirituality, it's you preparing yourself maybe for some long distance journey that you would like to do. Some of you might even be traveling on this day. And in that case, that should be awesome. For others, you might be armchair traveling, but you will feel the rise, that need, maybe to go to certain places that have been intoxicating to you through your research and want to merge with it. So then we have a little break between the 11th and the 24th, with the exception, of course, of that full moon on the 13th, which is going to be, you know, in your social activity arena in your chart. But on the 24th, we have Saturn and Uranus. Now, Saturn is all about traditions. Uranus is all about the untraditional. Some of you might just come to see that you will have an untraditional type Christmas. Typically in Europe and other places in the world, Christmas Eve falls on the 24th. That's when they celebrate. Here in the States, it's on the 25th on Christmas Day. But these planets that I'm going to be talking about right now, these transits, they all run and merge together. So whether it's the 24th or the 25th, we'll all be feeling it. So the traditional versus the untraditional, maybe some of you will change up your menu towards something that's more hip and up and going now rather than what our parents and grandparents used to have. That could be a part of that Uranian flavor that's coming in. But here we have 3 Venus aspects on the 25th, feeling it on the 24th, mind you, which is all what we feel in our hearts. Venus rules love and romance and just those things of harmony. Now, coming in with a beautiful trine to Jupiter means that this Christmas is lush, all right? It's very generous, both with the foods, the gifts, just the friendliness, the happiness of interacting with your family or friends. And Venus also sextiling on Uranus means that Uranus is going to come with a great surprise that you hadn't even expected. It's the wow factor. So not only the gifts, there might be something additional coming in for a lot of you. And then Venus sextiling Saturn, which is honoring our parents, our forefathers, and so forth, the past, and the feeling of tradition, that this is great time to spend together. So love in all the angles of this holiday. We have the 26th though, where Jupiter and Uranus, they're a little bit at odds. So it might just feel like you're a little inflated. Think about Jupiter being big and then sticking a hole in that balloon and all the air goes out. That could be because there has been a lot of rich food this Christmas season. So you're just wanting to lay flat, basically. But you're going to kick into action there on the 27th. Then I see you busy, out and about, maybe back to the shops. Some of you might have gotten a Mercury retrograde type of gift that needs to be exchanged. For those of you working in the stores, you will have a lot of things to do on the 27th. So be prepared for it. But basically, it's a great time also just for communication, where Mercury and Mars, they're very aligned. So your thoughts and your actions, they follow suit. You're getting a lot done in a very short amount of time. Then I could see how here you are, of course, the new moon on the 28th here, Leo. Again, it's your 6th house. Don't forget to place your intentions on that day. But then we come into the 30th. And you're all excited about now preparations for the New Year party. The Sun and Neptune is here. Neptune being your vision, really close to mind and heart. And looking forward to what maybe 2017 now can bring you. And by mentioning that, I do want to say that your 2017 horoscopes will be available to you on Thanksgiving Day there, so you could get that little sneak peek up ahead, what is coming. But the Sun and Neptune together, it's your hopes, it's your dreams, as if you're intuitively feeling that you're ready to embark upon 2017, and that may be a different type of year with a different signature to it than what 2016 has represented thus far. And then coming in to the last day of the year, the 31st, Mars and Neptune. The two of them together, that's your dynamic energy, your preparation, conjuncting here, fusing in with this vision that you're holding. So the celebration, the party should be great, very romantic by many means. Remember that Mars is in your 7th house for partnership. You will have a great time with your spouse. If you're single, hey, listen, that might be a part of that dream that you may come to meet. That's significant, special other, right? It's some kind of New Year's party, so don't sit at home. So listen guys, I will see you there on the Thanksgiving 2017 video, and also when we get to January. So happy holidays everyone.